Hello everybody, welcome to the first Kina Bridge of Shadows stream. Today we're going to check out a game that came out in 2021/2, I don't remember exactly when it came out, that have had on my radar ever since for its beautiful visuals and seemingly Souls-like gameplay. I'm not pretty sure, I didn't research it too much, but it was on sale just recently, so I thought, let's buy it and play it. Today also the RTX 5090 and a lot of AI stuff and other 50 series GPUs from NVIDIA were announced at CES. I will talk about those every now and then while we play the game. And I just want to highlight one thing out of the new series, which I think is the most important part. A lot of people will not realize how important it is, but it's the transition for DLSS 4.0 from CNN, a convolutional neural network algorithm, to a transformer-based model, like the ones you're used to, like ChatGPT is transformer-based and everything, right? It all started with BERT, I think in 2017, and so Sesame Street is basically bringing us the new version of DLSS. And what that will do is probably, hopefully and probably statistically, it will increase the visual quality quite significantly, reduce artifacts, better reconstruction, better frame generation, better super resolution, right? And it's so funny that AMD is just, like for years they had a handmade algorithm in FSR, right? FSR 1, 2, and 3 are all not AI based. And now FSR 4 is AI based, but it is using and that's funny, right? Because it's about to change for NVIDIA. It's using CNNs. So it's like NVIDIA is the first ones to do real-time transformer graphics. And AMD basically is like, just lagging behind again. But it's great to see them upgrade to CNNs, right? CNN is in XeSS, it's in like PSSR. They're all using CNNs. But using transformers is probably going to lead to significantly better results in the future. And just the way it works, right? It's very different from CNNs, from where it can draw information from. And I think it will do wonders in a lot of scenarios where like CNN-based models had a lot of artifacting. It's kind of funny in the background here in Kina Bridge of Shadows. You can see the artifacting of the leaves in the background. And these are exactly the artifacts, like the temporal stability of a transformer model will be significantly better. You can see in the background there's a ton of artifacting going on. And yeah, that combined with the ability to hot swap via the NVIDIA app without having to download some different DLSS versions from GitHub and stuff like that, or forums, is going to make it way, way, way nicer. And it's a huge improvement. Also, DLSS 4.0 multi-frame gen, as they call it, is a real game changer for the reason that, first of all, they improved latencies of the base model. Like, so it's like the algorithm's faster. In one go, it can produce more images. And also at the same time, I think a lot of people, it's really funny. I watched videos from Gamer Nexus, Hardware Unboxed, and don't remember if I watched other, didn't have that much time after watching the keynote. And the funny thing is, they're like really skeptical about there only being like 3 fake frames and 1 real frame instead of 50% real frames. And I think that's stupid. That is stupid for the reason that the time a frame remains on screen is unchanged. So you will still have the same screen time for real frames, just the relative, the relative amount of fake frames is going to be higher, but they're not going to be shown for longer. So you're still not going to be seeing the artifacts for longer. So yeah, it's kind of weird. No, technically they're being shown shorter, but it's like, it's like not into a significant amount. They're going to be shown for a very short period of time too. So it's not like they're on screen for a really, really long time. So and then again, the intra-frame variation is going to be like the errors are maybe not going to be consistent. And then the 3 images are not going to have the same errors. So it's not like probably not fully. And then it's not going to be like exponentiating the issue. So I really don't think you should be that negative about the amount of fake frames. And the reason why I'm really positive too about it is because, first of all, the latency is better because they improved the performance by roughly, they said like 30%, VRAM uses 40% down, blah, 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 just like raw numbers stuff we don't have any verification of. But the thing is, it's better performance means better latency compared to to DLSS 3.0 frame gen. And it also means, which is really important, wait a moment. Yeah, better latency, and also, what do I want to say? Just forgot. Yeah, well, basically, yeah, lower latency, more image fluidity, and yeah, frame times. They are going for flip presentation, in where the GPU is able to like schedule the image presentation, the display, and not the CPU doesn't schedule it anymore. So you should have a very consistent frame pacing, which should lead to less frame times inconsistencies, which you perceive as stuttering. So that is huge. And also Reflex 2 was announced. Reflex 2 uses via like a technique with warping we know from virtual reality headsets. And there is a big question mark, because you might see that and you're like, oh my god, that's insane. It's so much more fluid, and it's like almost like fake frames in a different way. But the thing is, I don't know how much the artifacts are going to be, visible, because there is the warping technique used is not really that sophisticated. So I wonder if the trade-off there is going to be worth it. Like Reflex 2 question marks, like theoretically it works perfectly well for like perceived latency reduction, but the image quality could suffer. So I'm like really not sure. But the quality of the transformer models for DLSS 4 look amazing, and like the first images, obviously, there's going to be some kind of issues at the start. They're also releasing it as a beta. But yeah, also the backwards compatibility is really great. Especially for those on older GPUs, you'll be glad to hear that everything but the multi-frame gen is coming to all the other cards. So like the 40, 30, and 20 series. I mean, 10 doesn't work because they don't have any hardware support for DLSS, which is required, right? The reason why you're not getting multi-frame gen on a 40 series or 30 series is because it is a hardware implementation. It's not a software-based implementation only. Some parts are like on AI cores, other parts are on like other parts of the GPU, but in general, the idea is basically this does not work efficiently on all their cards. You could run it probably, but it would destroy the frame rate and completely remove the use case, right? So everything that's backwards compatible, they're giving you. Everything that isn't means that the software-based solutions that they don't have, because they're using hardware-based ones, are either inferior or too slow, right? Or both, in most cases. Yeah, so that's it. Really impressed by DLSS 4.0. The price point, I guess, you can say the 5090, yeah, is a huge leap in price. Remains to be seen if the average performance, quote unquote, is worth it on that card. But the thing is, right, they're like really segmenting this as a high-end card, and then they really reduce the price across the board for the 5080, 5070, and 5070 Ti. And the thing is, basically, you should be careful about that, because sometimes they can shift the names, right? Like the 5080 could technically be a 5070 before. So yeah, you really have to kind of like see the perspective. And I wouldn't be too fast to judge that's a good price, but it's really nice to see, even though there won't be a lot of competition, to be honest, for them in the higher sectors, that they're not pushing beyond the prices, but they're actually reducing price, right? Going from $1,200 US MSRP for the 4080 to $1,000 for the $999 for the 5080 is cool, but we still have to put it in relation to the older cards, right? So you really want to see how performance compares before you say it's a good price, right? Reducing the price and reducing the hardware at the same time obviously can lead to a false image. So we should wait for reviews, for details there, but the overall impression is definitely huge props for them using transformer models for DLSS 4.0. Like really cool to see a shift in paradigm away from CNNs, which are great, right? They're really good algorithms, to be honest, relative to like the classic algorithms, but they're still pretty flawed, as we can see to this day. There are a lot of artifacts. You can see it in PSSR, in the XeSS, FSR 4.0 is also going to have a tons of artifacts. And let's just hope that transformer models have this like really nice scaling curve that we can expect from what we've seen with the likes of chatbot, etc. And yeah, the AI work is fantastic. I'm not going to deep dive into that, but yeah, really impressive stuff NVIDIA is pushing there, and obviously also with high financial interest. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing what the future will bring. But yeah, the price point is definitely in range for me. I will be trying to pick one up. We'll be trying to pick one up on release, which could be pretty hard. It's pretty expensive in Germany. And even that will not stop people from bots, especially from scalping it. So yeah, I expect anything between, I mean, the MSRP I think is 2,300 euros. I expect anything between 2,500 and 3,000 when I purchase it. So hope it's going to be on the lower end, but it's going to be annoying either way. But let's start playing. Sorry for the short interruption. It's CES, right? Like, I'm a big hardware nerd, so when the Consumer Electronics Showcase is that what it stands for? Actually, I don't even know. Basically, the big electronics showcase happens. I'm always there for the news, and obviously, since we're going to be using it on stream, and hopefully maybe a month and a half. Let's be realistic. It's not going to arrive on the 30th. There's going to be, I don't even know if I'm going to go for Founders Edition or not, because those are sold out within seconds, right? Even the other ones are too, but it's more likely to find one maybe. Yeah, and also we don't know about the cooling solution, so it's a gamble, right? Also the power draw seems super high for one connector only, so I'm kind of, there is stuff to worry about, but it's more like, you don't really have a choice when you want to get it. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting for half a year. And like I said, half a year later, the price position changes because you're already 1/8 in the life cycle of the card. No, 1/4 in the life cycle of the card. So, half a year is a big time span. So getting it on launch is pretty important for me. And hey, Chaotic Chemistry, I'm fine. I just noticed my voice is not that great today. Probably because of yesterday, talking so much. Yeah, so today we're going to try to keep it quite minimalistic with Kena Bridge of Shadows and enjoy the game. I've never played before, so it's going to be quite interesting to see if I like it or not. And just say hi, Apricorn. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, and also, by the way, I think the weak AMD showcase combined with the NVIDIA showcase will convert even more people to NVIDIA. Because if you're online, you might think everyone's buying AMD, but that's not true. AMD has a really small market share in GPU. AMD is really big in CPUs, but really small in GPUs. So it's not even that relevant for them from business perspective. So it's not that everyone's buying AMD and nobody's buying NVIDIA. It's the exact opposite. And I don't think that's going to change, and rightfully so, to be honest. And I'm also thankful for that, because the more people have NVIDIA, the more likely DLSS is going to be implemented. And since I prefer DLSS vastly over FSR so far, historically, I'm really glad every time we get DLSS instead of FSR. Yeah. So, from my perspective, definitely enjoying the adoption rate, because that way we get better software too at the end. Sucks for people on AMD, but honestly, if you bought AMD, you know what you're getting, right? You're getting an inferior product that has a good price to value ratio, but it's technically inferior from a software and algorithmic perspective. And it does make a big difference in some games, but in other games the difference is pretty big. It really depends on what you like, but at the end of the day, I think the prices are okay on NVIDIA's side. And to be honest, what you're paying for is the premium feature set, and depends on if you want that or not, right? If you're on a budget, and Intel Arc is going to do it for Battle Mage, I mean, Intel Battle Mage is also going to be fine, right? But if you really want to have the best visual quality and performance, there's unfortunately no way around NVIDIA if you really care about the details. But for most people, I still would recommend NVIDIA because of that, because it's just like, I think, a good value proposition in general. Because it's just like, more advanced in a lot of ways. But if you just care about raw performance and don't care about the feature set, for example, you're only pushing CSGO, you don't need Reflex 2 or anything like that, and you just want to, play those games at high FPS, AMD is going to do just fine, right? Or you're playing League of Legends or something like that. Who cares? You can put whatever you want in your PC. It's going to be, as long as it's fast enough, it's going to run fine. But if you want to play path trace games, and maybe even later neural rendered games, which is going to happen probably not right now, right? That's the big thing. We're in a transitional period. NVIDIA was really keen on saying that rendering and processing is changing, and they're completely right. My prediction for neural rendering years ago was already that most of the rendering pipeline and in general compute is going to be replaced substantially by additional AI algorithms. And that's what we're seeing, right? We're seeing step by step, small little changes, and they're going to add up at the end, right? And obviously with DLSS, we have a big final, a big completely image reconstruction technique there that is always present in modern games, not always, but mostly present. So it's really cool to see that is already there. But the reality is for fluid simulation, for like NPC behavior, or even more in-engine stuff, you also want to have those algorithms. We're just not there yet, right? And the rendering stack is not ready for it. But the 5090 is like, not 50, the 50 series is pushing a bit into that direction by adding like new ways to program the GPU in a nice way. And that's good to hear. I'm doing good too. That's great to hear too, Chaotic Chemistry. And well, sorry for the long start, but heck, stuff is going on. Yeah, let's just start with the game settings. Wait, what? They changed the difficulty name? Oh, you can't play on the highest difficulty when you start? Really? Well, that's disappointing. It's more like a new game plus things. Because I googled the difficulties and now my fucking stream title is bait. Wait. Beat the game. Oh, well, I guess I'm gonna have to change the title. What is the name of this difficulty? Expert Spirit Guide. Okay. Okay, sucks, but whatever. Let's change the title. Yeah, I didn't expect that to be gated. A lot of games do it, so maybe I should just next time read a bit further. I don't want to spoil the game for me, but I also want to make the titles accurate, so here we go. Now it should be accurate. Sorry for the few misleading moments here. I can't select the higher one. I would if I could. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, HUD auto hide is cool. Button legend. Great. Vibration function. Yeah, so the game pairs with your butt plug and you can just, I'm just kidding. And we can play in Japanese. No, I think the English is going to be fine for this one. A camera sensitivity of 0.8. Very nice. I don't know if the game is quiet or not. I might adjust the audio. Oh, there's button remapping. Fucking let's go. Pulse, shield, LB, aim, LT, RB, light attack, quad spin. Wait, this is Souls. One-to-one Souls. The rot action. Yes. Okay, cool. Sprint. Yeah, sprint is on L. Not the biggest fan. I haven't played a game with controller in a while, so I'm a bit rusty. Interact is on Y. I think... I'm not going to ask why, since I don't know how much you're going to be using interact versus the rot action. Use mask. Sit with rot. Photo mode. You know what? I already can see that this is going to be probably better up here and better here. And the photo mode can honestly suck my dick, but I'm going to put it somewhere anywhere. What disband? Rot cloud. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna put the photo mode here and the rot cloud here. I have no idea how this works. Sit with rot, disbound rot cloud, and use mask. Okay. Lock on like Souls games, firebomb, throw bomb, bow focus. I assume some kind of aim assist or slow motion mechanic. Control, yeah, wait, we did those. Okay, here we're gonna have to change a little bit. to a better resolution. Oh, it has DirectX 12 support. I don't know if the game has good support though. Some games are better, some games are worse. So I'm like not completely sure, and we have to restart the game as well.